We're refinishing our basement, which is fantastic!
Exciting! It's so exciting!
Except we just lost all our storage space.
That stinks.
Now we need a solution for an entire basement full of stuff. The plan? Turn this attic into prime-time storage real estate with flooring, shelves, and easy access. Let's get into it. We moved into this property about 5 years ago now, and we love it. But lately, it feels like the house is either shrinking or we're just running out of space. I can't tell which. Storage has always been at a premium here. Mostly because we lost a lot of storage when someone in the family decided converting the garage into a wood shop was a good idea. We didn't even have a shed when we first moved in. We fixed that a few years back and built one, but it's really only big enough for lawnmower and landscaping gear, so it doesn't do much for household storage. There's a couple of storage closets, but they're a little overstuffed. We do have 2 attic spaces, one above the garage and one above the main house, but the access is terrible. Neither opening has a ladder, and the garage attic opening is about 12 feet in the air and is now blocked by dust collection piping. We have much more to talk about with the attic, but we'll get to that later. That left the basement, the place all of our worldly possessions have proudly called home ever since, and everyone lived happily ever after.
Bravo.
Let's rewind a bit. When we moved in, our daughter was 3 years old, a quiet, sweet little bundle of joy. Now she's 8, has more energy than a squirrel trapped in a leaf blower, never stops talking,
One day, I went to the movie theater and I met this bunny named Little May.
and has many friends who come over and treat our house like a demolition derby. It was becoming painfully clear that she needed a separate space for her and her friends to hang out. They could have space to act like they just ate a pound of sugar, and Mom and me could restore our peace and quiet. So the decision was made to finish the basement. But with that, our main storage space for the past 5 years was about to be annihilated. We needed a good solution, and fast. We considered renting a storage pod, but the cost was silly and would be inconvenient to go down there every time we needed to get something. We considered storing stuff at friends' houses, but that wouldn't work long term. So we landed on utilizing the only space left, the attic over the main house. And we got to work putting together a plan for that space that seemed pretty straightforward. Or so we thought. I poked my head up into the attic to see what we were working with, and immediately saw a problem. Turns out we've got blown-in insulation. Probably something I should have known, but that's beside the point. This stuff needs to be about 18 inches deep to hit the proper R value for our area. This is basically the rating that tells you how well insulation actually insulates. The problem is, the joists are only 8 inches tall, so the insulation is packed about another 10 inches above that. I couldn't even see the joist, there was so much of this stuff. So how am I supposed to put plywood down? Easy. Just compress the insulation, right?
Nope, 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 nope.
Turns out if you compress it, it basically becomes useless.
You compress it down, the R value drops.
So instead of storage, you end up with a nice little section of your house that leaks heat in the winter and cooks you in the summer. Not ideal. So after a little research, I landed on the best solution. Building a raised platform above the joists. That way I can add flooring without crushing the insulation. Problem 1 solved. Problem 2, there are heating ducts running all over the place, and they sit higher than the joists, and even higher than my future platform. So now I've got to build around those. Problem 3, the attic opening is small, awkward, and definitely not ideal. I looked into pull-down ladders and found exactly one that kind of fits. Emphasis on kind of. So yeah, there's going to be a little creative problem solving happening there. And problem 4, I don't know if this attic is meant to be load bearing, so I'm going to have to do a little research to make sure that we don't blow out the floor, because that would suck. More on that in a bit. But at this point, at least we've got a plan. Build a raised platform, add flooring and shelving, and install a pull-down attic ladder. What could possibly go wrong? The first thing I had to do was clear out all the insulation, so I could see exactly where the joists and heating ducts are, and any more surprises I might find. Let me tell you, An attic with no airflow on a 70-degree day is not a fun place to be. Couple that with the insulation sticking to a river of sweat pouring out of my body, and you have the perfect recipe for some serious whining. It was taking forever trying to move this stuff out of the way with the tiny broom I had. And then I had an idea. Why don't I grab the leaf blower and supercharge this process? Well, it was a good idea in theory, and may have worked if it was an electric leaf blower, but this one happened to be powered by gasoline. It turns out burning gasoline produces carbon monoxide, which is a bad thing in small spaces with poor ventilation. So don't be a dope like me and keep your gas tools outside. With the insulation out of the way, I could start putting in some joists. But first, I needed to make sure I could even get them up through this tiny attic opening. I was pretty sure the 2x10x8s would fit no problem, but I wasn't so sure about the 2-foot wide, 8-foot long sections of OSB. Thankfully, with the help of my wife, we were able to slide them up into the attic, and the project could continue. Before I even started this project, I spent a good amount of time making sure it was actually safe to put an attic up here. There are a lot of factors to consider if you're planning to use your attic for storage. And if you've got your original blueprints, that's a huge advantage. I was lucky enough to track mine down from old emails with our builder, and it made a big difference in understanding what I was working with. In my case, the attic has 2x8 joists spaced 16 inches on center, spanning about 13 feet. Now that's not designed to be a full load-bearing floor, but it can typically handle light to moderate storage if you're smart about how you use it. We're talking seasonal bins, decorations, clothes, not anything excessively heavy. Another big factor is whether you have load-bearing walls underneath. If you do, that can help support the structure and reduce stress on the joists above. When it comes to installing flooring, you want to spread the load out as much as possible. Running your decking across multiple joists helps distribute weight more evenly. And when you're loading the space, it's a good idea to keep heavier items close to the edges, near the exterior or load-bearing walls, and avoid concentrating weight in the center of the span. But here's a mistake I see all the time. People throw down flooring and assume that means they can store anything they want up there. Flooring doesn't make your attic stronger, it just gives you a surface to walk on. All the weight is still being carried by those joists underneath. So if you overload them, you're not just risking the attic, you're risking sagging ceilings, cracked drywall, and problems throughout the rooms below. The 2x10 joists went in without a hitch, but some of them were a little less stable than I would have liked, and I was worried about them staying upright. So I cut some blocking on the fly and added it to beef up the framing. Next up was installing the 3/4 inch OSB flooring. But before I get to that, I had to figure out a solution for these wires. I ended up using my trim router and routing a 3/4 inch wide by 3/4 inch slot in the top of my 2x10s. That's going to leave enough room for the wires and let me put down flooring without crushing them. I also wanted to utilize every inch of floor space I had, so I took a jigsaw and cut out slots for the 2x4 framing on the walls. That allowed me to push the OSB right up against the wall. As I was laying the sheets down, I caught myself thinking, this is going way too smoothly so far. What's about to go wrong? I don't know about you, but I've always been a planner. I try to think through every step, every mistake, every what if before I make the first cut. But lately I've been pulling back on that a bit. I still walk in with a plan, but I leave some room to figure things out as I go. That's because no matter how painstakingly I prepare, how much I think about every possible scenario, there's always something that happens I didn't or couldn't anticipate, and I have to adjust the plan anyway. So now I'm curious, are you the type to plan everything out down to the smallest detail, or do you just jump in and figure it out as you go? With the raised platform in on one side of the attic, that was a wrap on building for day one. I decided to take the rest of the afternoon to sit in an ice bath and down an entire bottle of ibuprofen. Day two was all about building out the opposite side. There were fewer obstacles over there, so naturally, things started to move a lot quicker. While I was building out this side, my focus started to shift to the pull-down attic ladder. I had it scheduled to arrive today. Perfect timing, ready to install. Or at least, that was the plan. But of course, I go to check my email, and it's delayed until next week. And this is exactly what I was talking about. You can plan everything down to the smallest detail, have your materials lined up, your timing dialed in, and something completely out of your control still throws it off. Just have to maintain your zen and adjust, I guess. I'm going to put out a dedicated video on just the ladder install as soon as it comes in, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Speaking of adjusting, we decided not to put in any shelving. The platforms ended up being plenty big enough for what we need to store up here, and I'm more than happy to forgo the extra work at this point. If we don't need the extra storage, then there's no point in adding the extra weight. As I finish things up, I can feel that sense of satisfaction starting to sink in. Just a couple of days ago, this was an empty attic. No real purpose, no practical use. Now it's a solid storage space that should serve us well for years to come. And honestly, I think that's why DIY is so satisfying. There's something deeply rewarding about seeing a problem in your home, figuring out a solution, and building it yourself with your own two hands. It's kind of funny. Sometimes I imagine this is what life must have been like way back in the day. If something needed to get done, you didn't always have someone to call. You had to figure it out and make it happen. In a nutshell, that's what DIY is all about. That wraps it up for this project. If you're into DIY projects, check out this video next and learn how to build a reclaimed wood accent wall. Thanks, everyone.